So what are some of the things that you need to know before investing in cryptocurrency? Hi, my name is Bryan, and in this video, I want to give you some tips and tricks that you can use in order to be more educated before you jump into the cryptocurrency markets. So there's a couple facts and a couple strategies that you're going to need to understand. The first one is you need to understand what it is you're investing in. And this can be simple, but it can also get complex if you're not paying attention. So there's really four types of cryptocurrency investments in this space right now. The first one is an actual investment in cryptocurrency. I mean, that sounds counterintuitive, but one of the things that you can invest in, say, Bitcoin, is actually a currency. You're buying it because of its ability to be used as a store value and to be able to be used in transactions. And because of the finite supply of that item, that you're buying it at a time when you believe it's going to go up in value as demand for that asset increases. Those are all legitimate reasons. Now, if you're just coming into the market to only buy cryptocurrencies, there's some great ones out there, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripple, things like that. But you have to understand that there are thousands of these types of cryptocurrencies, and not all of them are actually currencies. So some of them are core blockchain technology. So now we're talking about the Ethereums of the world, and that you're buying those tokens because you understand that other people need to buy those tokens in order to access that network, in order to make other investments in other projects, or to use the overall blockchain. That's going to control, or it's going to take on a different value prop that you need to understand. Now, that value prop is access to the network. And if most of the projects are being built on a specific network like Ethereum, or the ones that are coming up behind it like Neo or Dragon Chain or other things like that, that you're going to need those tokens in order to be able to create transactions on there, i.e. buy projects that are written on those blockchains. Then that's going to create the demand that could then increase the value of your investment. The next one's utility tokens. These really were born in 2017, and they were typically used as a concept to get around security laws in the United States, i.e. buy this token so we can get your money, and then you can use this token on our network later in the future. I'm not a big fan of utility tokens these days, but you need to understand that those are out there and look at the value prop of the investment that you're going to make. The next one is securities. This is just now starting to become a big thing in 2018, where you can actually invest in securities or companies that own their own blockchain, own their own exchanges, own their own publishing companies, or have some type of value add to the industry that allows you to buy common shares or equity in the company. This is becoming more prominent as the SEC clamps down on all of the current style of investing that's been going on in the cryptocurrency space, at least in the United States, in order to make sure that people are being protected from themselves. So those were four different types. Now let's compare and contrast them a little bit so that you can understand the things that you need to know before you go in and buy them. So a cryptocurrency like a Bitcoin or a Litecoin, you're buying it because of its ability for you to buy other things. It is a currency. It's like a dollar bill that allows you to create transactions. What's different about it is there's a finite supply. Therefore, the demand to use that cryptocurrency based on that 21 million number for Bitcoin, that 84 million number for Litecoin, there will never be any more than that. So that means the value of it goes up as the demand for it goes up. Now, if you were to compare a cryptocurrency to a utility token, you'd have to ask yourself, why do I need a utility token for a specific project where I should be able to use just Bitcoin to access that network? Or I could use fiat to access that network. And that's the fatal flaw in utility tokens. Now, core blockchain compared to a cryptocurrency is that you want to buy into the underlying projects that the foundation of what they run on. Most projects actually were built on the ERC20 network, which is the Ethereum network. And then in order to buy those tokens that were coming out in those projects, you had to buy them with Ethereum. Now, you can also sometimes buy them with Bitcoin. So it's kind of a balancing act there that doesn't necessarily make absolute sense. My strategy is to look at each of those sectors and invest across each of them so that you can get diversification as one rises or another one falls. So here's some tips if you're just getting started. It's really important to understand the technology in the space. And there's two primary versions of technology that you need to understand as an investor. The first one is wallets, and the second one is exchanges. Now, it's 2018, and the dynamic of this is going to continue to change. But you need to understand that when you buy cryptocurrency from one person and they send it to you, you're going to have what's called a wallet or an address, an encrypted address that they're going to send that to, and that's how you take ownership. Now, those crypto addresses can be on exchanges, but it's better for them to be in a wallet. So ERC20 has wallets like my Ethereum wallet. Cloud-based, still not highly recommended. The kind of wallets that we like to use are like the Ledger Nano or the Trezors that allow you to take those assets off of the internet into a physical drive and allow you to store them off someplace. Now, you can have things done that are crazy, like printed onto metal cards, these 16-word codes that you can use to access wallets and no one else can. There's a lot of craziness that can go on, but to keep it simple, buy yourself a ledger, buy the big cap coins, and have them be stored on your ledger instead of keeping things on exchanges, especially with all the way the regulation is affecting exchanges today. The next thing is you have to have a reason to buy. And this sometimes confounds me when I ask them, they're like, okay, I bought Bitcoin. Well, why did you buy it? Well, because I bought Bitcoin. Why did you buy Bitcoin? Did you buy it because you think it's going to go up in value? Most people will say yes. Did you buy it because it is a means of transactions, which would lead to a lot of the other cryptocurrencies? Did you buy a utility token because you actually want to use the network in the future? Or did you get suckered into buying it thinking that it's going to go up in value as demand for the platform goes up? When you understand whether you're going to buy, trade, or use, you can create better goals and strategies out of your investing, because if you invest, you always have to have an exit plan. And without an exit plan, you tend to make bad decisions. Also, one tip that I like to put out there is pay attention to the fees associated with buying and selling cryptocurrencies. If you're investing in Bitcoin and you're doing it in very small amounts, say like under $100, you can really get eaten up with fees, especially if you're going to do microtransactions. Those under $10, you can end up with $3 or $4 in fees, and that's 30 or 40% of your overall investment. You're never going to make any money if every time you do a transaction, you're getting up 30 or 40% of it. So be aware of the fees. Every different platform that you buy from is different, whether it's an exchange or it's something like Coinbase. Just pay attention to those. Now, you've looked at the different types of investments. You've got a basic understanding of the technology that it takes to buy. You've determined what your reason for buying is, and you set a goal for buying. And you've looked at the fees to make sure that you're not wasting money by actually getting involved. So the next thing that you need to do now is you need to understand the markets. The first thing that you need to understand with the markets is that they're extremely volatile. You can see 20 to 30% dips in a day. They're much more volatile than, say, the traditional securities market, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, things like that, normal common stock shares that you buy through brokerage accounts, that if they had a 20% day in either direction, something major had to happen. In the cryptocurrency markets, one piece of macro news can come out from a regulatory body or from a federal government of some type, and the entire market can drop by 30%. And that means thousands of different coins can all fall simultaneously to each other. And you've got to be aware of that. That can be risk, but it can also be opportunity. If you pay attention close enough, you can trade off of that, and there's a great way to profit from that. The last thing that I want you to understand about things that you need to be aware of is that cryptocurrencies, from an investment standpoint, don't follow the normal fundamentals of investing. Anyone that tells you that they're reading TA about cryptocurrencies, you know that they're completely and utterly full of shit, because you can't read TA on something that's so controlled by external factors, i.e. regulation at this point in time. If regulation had a dramatic impact on the commodities market or the securities market, like the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ, every day, no one would invest in it. And that's one of the things that's held back cryptocurrency from becoming a completely main street adopted technology or investment opportunity, is that it's still controlled by emotion. That's where you get these 20 to 30% swings that can happen every single day of a week, both up and down, in constant conflict with your overall investment strategy. Again, could be an opportunity, could be a problem. So this was a really in-depth overview of what to understand before you start investing in cryptocurrency. If you like what we had going on in this video, feel free to subscribe to our channel. We greatly appreciate it. Or look for the link below to get some more free training from us. And I really appreciate your time. Peace.